He told me with tears in his eyes, he says he would come home and he had 2 little girls. He said he'd tuck the girls in at night and they knew that he was unemployed and stuff, and because he heard them talking, and they would say, hey, Daddy, are we going to be okay? And he looked at me and said this. He says, hey, Carl, have you ever tried to give your family assurances when you didn't really believe it yourself? Uh-huh. I've been there. Are we going to be okay? Uh-huh. And I'm thinking, there ain't a snowball's chance that you know where we're okay. We're not okay. But you can't say it. He goes, Carl, I'm doing the best I can. It's the line of the impossible. It's the line of the impossible. It's like, oh, man, just sending resumes, it's going to a black hole. I don't know what I should do. And he just kept, and he kept sending it. He said, I'm not good. I just believe God has something for me. And he kept sending it, and now he's gainfully employed in a job he loves in Denver. And it's just a cool thing. I know there are some people today who are at this place, the place of the impossible. I know there's people here, and I know what it's like not to have work. I know what that does to you. And I know how your mind can go to really, really, really dark places. After every service here at Foundations, we're going to have people up front to pray for. And I just send an invitation to you. You don't have to do it, but when I send an invitation to you, I want to say to you, if you've been out of work 6 months or more, I know what that can do. I just invite you to come up after the service and have someone pray with you. We're going to pray. One of my prayers is that for the people who want to work at Foundations Church, we have 100% employment for those who want to work. We'll just pray God to do the impossible. That's what I want to do. And if you're an employer and you have some work, you know what? Let us know. If you're looking to hire some people, let us know. I said at 9 o'clock, I got my pocket full of papers. Some men come up to me and says, I'm hiring. We want to do that here. We want to be a place that helps each other out. So some of you today, you're at the precipice of the line of the impossible. Here's what I want to tell you to do. Don't give up. God is trying to build that muscle of faith. Third line is the line of little or confusing feedback. Have you ever been there? Have you ever felt like you're doing something right? You're doing something right, but nothing's happening. It's like I'm doing this right. I'm doing everything right, but God's not even letting me know that that anything's happening. This is the line of little or confusing feedback. You get no feedback if you're doing something right, or if you do get feedback, it's contradictory. Do you ever have that happen? Like people are giving you 2 different things. Like, wow, you're trying to do everything right, but nothing's going right in your life. That God's developing that muscle where you just keep going. It's like, man, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing because nothing's working, but you just keep going. It's the line of little or Abraham kept going. His wife would say, are we there yet? I don't know. Hey, God, how are we doing? Nothing. Keep walking. We there yet? I'm not sure. Just keep going. Little feedback. I've been there when you're doing stuff and you don't know if you're getting any feedback or not. It's a tough line, and you just keep going. Even though you're not really sure because you're not getting anything, no rewards, no effort, nothing happening because of your effort, you just keep going. It's the line of little or confusing feedback. And here's a fourth line. The fourth line is the line of the pull of the world, where the world just pulls on you. It's seductive, doing everything it can to compromise our integrity, cross lines, and make things happen that aren't happening. When I was real underemployed, I lost my job, and so I took this job in training, and I was traveling all across the country training people, and and you got nothing. I mean, they paid you nothing for it, but at the back of the room, they had resources. And if you sold those resources, you get commission off of them, okay? And so I call this job the ramen noodle diet job, okay, all right? Because to survive, you had to eat ramen noodles. Ramen, what are they called? They're nasty noodles is what they are, okay, all right? They're not good, okay? And my boss called me up one day and said, hey, Carl, we get these people evaluations. You are like the highest when it comes to customer feedback. They love your seminars. They love your training. But you're not doing very well selling. Now, we know it's not because you can't, because people really like it. So I want you to go spend a day with Lori. Lori's the best. And if you don't sell, you eat those nasty noodles, and then they send you to places that are nasty with no people. If you sell, they put you in nice places with a lot of people. If you don't sell, you go to Minot, North Dakota with 5 people, okay, all right? All right? And believe me, that's no place you want to go, okay? I've been there, okay? So I spend a whole day with Lori, and I watch her sell, and it's like I'm almost wanting to throw up. I mean, she's lying, she's deceiving. She's like, wow. I met with her afterwards. I says, wow. And she goes, yeah, these people, you'll never see them again. We travel out. It doesn't matter. She goes, I do everything I can to make people feel as guilty as they can. And that way I just get a lot of money that way. And I walked away and I said, I'm not going to do that. If I have to eat ramen noodles, I'm not going to manipulate people. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. And there were times I was tempted because I needed the money. I needed it. I really did, but it's like, I won't do it. I won't do what she does. And just a side note, this is just funny, because occasionally when you do something, God does throw you a bone. I went to Los Angeles, and every time you work in a place, they'd hire a Kelly person to help you, and every town had basically the same one. And whenever I was in Los Angeles, the same lady helped me, and I kid you not, her name was Marilyn Monroe. Seriously. And she was married in that name. And she was a 70-year-old, very aggressive woman. And the Kelly people, they would get commission too. Not as much as we did, but they would get some. And so she was always pushing me, make them feel guilty, squeeze these people. I need some money, you know. And so she's always pushing me. It's like, Marilyn, relax a little bit, okay? So I had a workshop to do in Los Angeles. And so I'm setting up my room, and in comes this older man. I thought, Marilyn's not with me. And he introduced himself. He goes, hi, I'm Lou Monroe. I go, oh, Monroe. He goes, yeah, I'm married to Marilyn. I go, you're helping me. He goes, yeah, I'm helping. He goes, because down the room in the same hotel, there's another seminar. My wife is doing that one. Lori's teaching it, the bestseller. She goes, Marilyn didn't want to work with you because she'd make more money with Lori. I get it. Here's two just scumbags in the same room together. Oh, we'll do the best we can, Lou, all right? And so it was fun. We worked together. It was fun. And it was just amazing to me because Lou went to check on his wife at the end of the day, and he came back laughing. He goes, hey, Carl. I go, what? He goes, we made more money than them. I thought sometimes it's good just to keep doing the right thing, isn't it? I got on the bus to take me to the airport, and guess who was on the bus with me? Lori. Hi, Lori. How you doing? I heard you sold more than I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I didn't have to do what you do to do it. But I am telling you, there are some of us today who are feeling the line of the pull of the world. We're in relationships that maybe not be the best for us. We're doing stuff that's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of excitement to it, but it may not be the best for us. It's the line of the pull of the world, trying to compromise who we are to get stuff that in the end won't satisfy anyway. These are the things that Abraham really had to deal with. It's the line of the unknown, the line of the impossible. It's the line of little feedback or confusing feedback, and the line of the pull of the world. And Abraham just kept going. And when he crosses these lines, it gives you 6 qualities of life that are very powerful. So I want to kind of wrap up our time talking about these 6 qualities. Number 1, when you cross these lines, it motivates us just to trust. Just to trust God more. It's just to trust God. When you cross these lines, you understand that God is a trustworthy God. And here's the acid test to know if you cross this line and you're trusting God. Here's the acid test to know if you're trusting. Check your prayer life out. Because if you're praying, then you're in over your head. We're starting this thing here. It's like, wow, I don't even know why we're starting this thing. Really, I mean, you guys won't believe this, but I'm 57. I mean, you won't believe this. Like, how do you do it? Let me tell you, just a secret. Twinkies and Coke, okay? It's really, that's how you get like this, okay? All right, okay? And so it's like 57 years old. It's like, man, really, are we starting this thing? It's crazy. And I'm just trusting. And I'll tell you what's happening to me, man. I don't know if it's right, but I go to bed praying to God. I fall asleep praying. I don't know if he likes that, but I do it. And I wake up praying. And when I drive in the car, I'm not listening to the radio too much these days. You know what I'm doing? I'm like praying. It's because, why are you praying? Because like I'm freaked out. That's why. I'm totally freaked out. Are you kidding me? Someone asked me today, he goes, how are you pulling this off? I don't know. Don't ask me those questions. We have no idea what we're doing. This is freaking me out. And so I get up and I'm praying. I'm going to bed. I'm praying. I mean, I'm praying. That's because when you're in a situation that's bigger than yourself, And when you're trusting God for something that's beyond you, you pray. I've been in situations where I didn't need God. Have you ever been? It's like, God, well, I'm doing okay. I don't pray. I don't pray. I know I should pray. It's a good thing to pray. Pray without ceasing, all that stuff. I get all that, but sometimes I don't pray. When I'm in a situation in life when I don't need God, I don't pray. But when I trust God for something bigger than me, I'm there. I mean, that's motivation. Number 2, sacrifice. It teaches you to sacrifice when you cross these lines. It says this, Abraham was giving up, I wrote in your notes, giving up in the moment what he had. Abraham was a wealthy man and he left it all. And it says this, Abraham was living in tents. Here's a wealthy guy living in tents, but he's willing to live in a tent because he knows where he's going is greater than where he left. This is a church, by the way, this is a church in a tent. We don't really have a building. We're just using this. We don't have offices right now. I mean, I hang out at the 3rd booth in Starbucks. That's where you find me. That's my office. Okay? And we have people that are sacrificing. We have people today. I was thinking about this when I came over here. We have people today who are at this building at 6 o'clock in the morning to get all these rooms set up for our kids. And they're here at 6 o'clock in the morning when you guys leave and watch the Broncos win. I took a pounding last week because I mocked the Broncos, and it was bad texting and email. I'm wearing Bronco orange today. Maybe, okay, all right? And so when there'll be people here past 2 o'clock, and so I added it up. Wow, people here at 6 a.m.? Wow, there are people here not getting a penny, putting 8 hours here so we could have church. Why are they doing that? Wow, they're sacrificing a lot because they got to go to work tomorrow. Why? Because they know that what they're doing here, they have faith that what we're doing here will make an impact in northern Colorado. They're willing to do it. They're willing to do it. They're saying, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's like, wow, it's unbelievable. And there's a lot of them. You're willing to sacrifice. And number 3, you're willing to be patient. You're willing to be patient because you know if you're trusting God, He's given you something that you may not have it now, but as you continue to have faith, He's going to come through. And so you're willing to be patient. When I was in Hong Kong a while back, I watched them make a skyscraper. You know what they use for scaffolding? Bamboo. That's crazy.